Hello guys, and welcome to another video. And earlier today, Nintendo did the Indie World Showcase for August 2021, and basically there were a lot of interesting things announced here, and I would even go as far as to say that this was my favorite Indie World, because usually Indie Worlds only have around one or two things that really interest me or are really heavy hitters, but this one had several, and they were all really good announcements. So basically, the ones that kind of stuck out to me were Axiom Verge 2, which actually got a release date today, and was kind of like a shadow drop, so I'm not sure if we knew that before, or if that was just a thing today, but that is really cool that we actually got that like release date today and everything, and that was cool that they just had a trailer for that, because that was a highly anticipated game that was announced a while ago, so I'm glad that we got a trailer for that and everything, and got a release for that. And one game that we've been also looking forward to actually didn't show up here, I just wanted to mention for a second, was Silk Song, and I'm actually kind of surprised that we didn't really see anything from that game for a while, because a lot of people have been wanting to see it, so I'm kind of surprised that it skipped so many indie worlds and we haven't seen it for a while. So I'm not sure really how that game is going right now, but I know a lot of people have been wanting to see that game, but we actually didn't see it this time. So next up, we got to see Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon, and that looked really cool, since I really like the Shovel Knight games, and I think that was really cool that they have a spin-off for that, and I think that was already announced before at like a Yacht Club Games Direct, or something like that, like a showcase like that, and that's coming out this winter, I think it's either later this year or early in 2022, and that looked really cool. I really like how it's kind of like a puzzle game, and that looks really cool. So next up we got Metal Slug Tactics, which is kind of like a spin-off of Metal Slug. And Metal Slug is basically one of the SNK games, and I have played the first one on Arcade Archives, and that was really good, so I'm looking forward to that. And the biggest thing here that I'm excited about is Tetris Effect Connected. We're finally getting Tetris Effect on the Switch, and that looks really cool. I'm so glad we're getting it, because I've been waiting so long ever since Tetris Effect originally came out. I've been wanting it on the Switch, and yeah, like I feel like it's kind of like a perfect fit for the Switch and everything. I think it was mentioned in Scott the Waz's video too, because like I feel like Tetris games really just work on Nintendo consoles, and I'm really surprised that they've waited so long to put it on the Switch and everything, because it has like a lot of different modes. It's really cool, and I really like the idea of it, and I'm definitely going to be picking up this game, and I'm just really looking forward to it. So I'm actually kind of surprised that they have it in the indie world, because I know even though the developer is an indie developer, I feel like they would usually like save Tetris for like a Nintendo Direct, but I'm not sure. I guess it kind of does count as an indie game, but because I usually, when I think of Tetris, I usually think of it being like a bigger game, since it's a pretty big franchise. I usually see it at like Nintendo Directs and stuff like that, kind of like how Tetris 99 or Puyo Puyo Tetris or games like that are announced. So I'm actually kind of surprised that it was at the indie world, but I'm really excited about that, and it was a really good announcement. So we also got Slime Rancher Portable Edition, or Plortable Edition. So that, I think it looks really cool, and I'm surprised that it hasn't been on the Switch for some kind of like a similar situation to Tetris Effect. That looks really good, and it was actually shadow dropped today, just like Axiom Verge 2. So we've been waiting a while for that game to come to the Switch, kind of like Tetris Effect. So I'm glad that finally got a release on Switch, since it also got like an announcement for the sequel a while back at E3. So I guess we're going to get the sequel eventually too on the Switch. I'm not sure, but I think that's really cool that we got the announcement for Slime Rancher on the Nintendo Switch. And finally, the last thing that interested me here was Gang Beasts, and I think I played that before on the PS4 with my friend, and that was pretty fun, and I'm surprised it wasn't on Switch before, but it's now coming to the Nintendo Switch, kind of like how a lot of other indie games are, because it's kind of surprising nowadays to not see a popular indie game be on the Nintendo Switch, because I feel like most of them kind of are, like the Nintendo Switch is kind of like the central platform for indie games. So yeah, there were a ton of great announcements, especially Tetris Effect being my favorite announcement there. But overall, I would definitely have to say this is my favorite indie world. And anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. And make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye.